As a wise person, I must pick what is best for me. If today's youth is sane enough, there are many good children who understands that this is good for me, this is not good for me. They know what to do.
Friends, in the information age, the youth has access to an explosion of information, technologies, tools, and news, which can be very overwhelming, confusing, and misdirecting to at times. Therefore, there is a dire need to impart right values to our youth from a very young age. The advent of this social media, the way sometimes it goes haywire, you need to really have value system at the core of your thinking. Then you will not be misguided. Otherwise, this temporary information without confirmation will confuse you, will demoralize you, and also people are likely to go in wrong direction.
I'll take the best out of it. Like, in drug industry, they say, even the best drug has a side effect. That does not mean when you need it, you don't take medicine. Side effect will be there. When I watch TV, it has its own problems, but it has its goodness also. As a wise person, I must pick what is best for me. If today's youth is sane enough, there are many good children who understands that this is good for me, this is not good for me. They know what to do. You know very well that all night you've been working, whatever it is, either study or work or partying perhaps, or you are one of those internet junkies, spend all night surfing. In the morning, you have time to go to college or things to be done. What happens to your mind then? When we deprive ourselves of this need of sleep, it affects us physically at many levels. Emotionally also we suffer, mentally also we suffer. And the work also suffers, our attention suffers. And when we are not fully attentive to the things we need to do, our performance suffers. So, whether you are meditating or not, please make sure that you have enough or adequate sleep at night time, say. Some people say, oh, I sleep during daytime, but it's not as good either. Never in the history of India there have been so many per capita cancer patients. One attribution is given to this pollution, but lot to my feeling it is all about electromagnetic radiation. You will see towers everywhere. Everybody is walking with a phone. There is a Wi-Fi. Some people walk around with their Bluetooth on. That also affects. These days it is like, you may not be smoking, but when others smoke, you get affected. Even when you don't have any phones with you, still there are so many carrying the phone, you'll have a, second-hand effect, second smoke. 3-4 months back, I was in Kerala, and there I visited one research lab. They have some research project going on, and there they invited us. One of the finding they were experimenting was how red blood cells they form, like certain diseases will prompt RBCs to behave, red blood cells to behave and form a kind of a colony, or it will form a Rolex type of a structure. I told them, since you already have my blood sample, let us see the impact of phone with the Bluetooth on and see how WBC behaves, how our white blood cell behaves. Now, since my blood sample was already taken almost 10 minutes before, by the time I requested for this experiment, they were already settling down, almost dying out, you can say. Their WBCs were just settled. They were not moving at all. They were just static. Moment the lab technician, put the phone near the microscope, these WBCs came to life and started moving very fast. What does this say to you? They perceived the presence of phone with Bluetooth on as a threat to the organism they are serving. That means the organism is us. Yes, the WBCs are serving us as a human system. They feel that human system is being threatened, so they become active to defend the system. Now imagine if the same WBC was in our blood while moving. See, this was on a microscope slide. What happens to WBCs when they receive the threat, when you are holding your phone in your hand, or when it is in your front pocket or in your jacket pocket, or very close to your body, or some people having a phone under the pillow or just by the table? It has its impact. I stopped using phones almost practically to a zero level. I hardly use it. But whenever I used to have the phone and talk, within 2 minutes, I would start itching here. And this whole itching will begin and it will start itching here. It will go up. And my glands here would swell up. Another impact I noticed, the shoulder. I feel as if somebody has cut off my shoulder if I use it more than half hour at a time. So slowly, through such bad experiences, I learned that it's really not good for me. Some of you may not be feeling such an impact in your system, but that does not mean it is not harming. It certainly does harm, but you're able to tolerate this to a large extent than myself. But why do you want to tolerate? System is rejecting, but we want to go on with it because you have a willpower to get over it and say, okay, let me use the phone. I need it's my prestige. My business depends on it. No, we did business even before we had these mobile phones. World was going on pretty much fine.